Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. This is Uncle Lenny. So good evening, guys. This is Cecilia Njovu, a fashion designer who graduated with masters in entrepreneurship. Cecilia, you are welcome to my channel. Please, I want you to introduce yourself to my viewers.
Thank you. My name is Cecilia Njovu, and I'm a fashion designer behind the brand called, it's a Zambian brand called Ulo Design.
Ulo Design. Is there any way that you can tell a little bit about Ulo? How did you come up with your Ulo? How do you come up with your brand?
So ideally, my mother used to sew when I was younger, so that's where I drew the fashion and inspiration from. And then the word Ulo, it's from a sentence in Senga that says Nchefya Ulo, like in simpler terms, it's like to take up a certain space. Yeah. So I felt like I needed to get out of a comfort zone and take up a space which was in designing. So hence that name.
Oh, okay. That's a very interesting name. So, by the
Yes.
way, congratulations on your graduation, for
Thank you.
graduating with masters. So, how does your masters in entrepreneurship influence your approach to fashion designing?
Well, there are different aspects. I feel like because I mainly what I knew was the designing part, the art part, but I didn't really have full knowledge and understanding on the business aspects of it. No wonder I decided to take a step in doing further studies, which was an MBA in entrepreneurship. So there's the marketing, there's the financial part, there's product design. So all of those aspects that I've learned, I am now trying to incorporate into the brand, which is a bit more of the business side of it.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, I wanted to find out. I know there are so many courses you could have majored in other industries. How did you come up? How did you come up to choose fashion designing? You just decided, well, forget about being a doctor, forget being a lawyer. But I guess I have to making sure that I dress people looking like this. What inspired you?
Well, apart from my mom, I just feel like it's something that has always been in me because it's something that's also different from what I did at undergraduate program. I did library and information science with public administration. So I feel like that part of life is not for me. I am an artist and I like to express myself through creating clothing, and I would want to stay true to that.
So now that we graduated, what's the next step?
Currently I'm just trying to find ways to incorporate the knowledge that I have gained from school to my work and see how that plays out. The whole marketing, trying to venture more into bridal wear, considering that we don't have, especially here in Zambia, well, we don't really have much of like bridal wear. Most of those things are imported, and yeah. So I'm trying to find like a bridge between that gap that I have noticed.
So Cecilia, how do you connect people? How do you connect with your with people? How, if people had to connect, get in touch with you, how can they find you? Or are you having a specific location in Zambia where Ulo is found?
Currently my specific location is my home. I've actually found it convenient to work from home. So I have a specific room that is set up for my work with my machines and my fabrics where clients come. It's a convenient location, and it's also convenient for me considering how well at these malls for the rentals it's usually per square meter and the charges are a little absurd. So for starters, it's great for me to work from home. So
And that's a
yeah.
good idea. If we check about how Apple started, they started in the garage. So I don't blame you to start from home.
Yeah.
But down on the road, are we looking to have a place somewhere in downtown Kamwala or something like that?
Yeah, not Kamala, but yeah, I am looking at central places, maybe owning something of my own that I could build, and yeah, down the road, definitely.
So are you on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter or something like that? How can people?
I am on I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Ulo Design. So I'm working on having a website as well, but it's not set up yet.
So what is your Instagram name?
Called Ulo Designs. It's spelled as ULO Designs. That's for the
So even on the
web.
Facebook, people can find you as on Euro. Once they plug in Euro Design, they can find you.
Yes.
So how do you sell your items? Are you online? Are you selling it online, or someone else has to be physically coming into your location?
I do online because I've got a few clients who are some are out of town, some out of the country. So I did reach out. They need something because the clothing is custom made. So mostly I would need their measurements. So for those who are out of town or far, unable to come through, I'm able to give them instructions for the measurements that I need, that they can have taken. And when the clothing is made and done, usually there's a courier service called Mercury that I use to send the items.
So Cecilia, how do you stay up to date with the latest fashion tradings and incorporating them into your design? How do you stay up to date? You know, there's so much fashion. See what is happening now. See what is trading, but how do you incorporate it into your design?
I think that one is it's not difficult because there's information like everywhere, and mostly because what I do is custom made, so clients usually have preferences. So depending on the season, if it's summer, there are certain dresses or outfits. When it's winter, there are also some of those things that will come into fashion, but then fashion is recycled. It's usually the same trends through and through. Maybe just the patterns will change, but nothing ever really changes.
Mm. So Cecilia, how sets your brand aside? Since we are living in this competitive world, this industry is so competitive. What makes your brand stand?
Um, I would say because everything that I make, I haven't really focused on ready to wear because ready to wear is usually most like mass production and it will be one thing entirely throughout, but for me it's custom made, so that's what sets my brand up apart. So it's made according to certain specifications of a person, so it won't be entirely exactly. Even if a different person comes and wants that thing, it will not look like the same thing on another person.
Wow. So can you share any notable achievement or milestone since launching your brand?
um well, I have a few awards. There was something that I did for Kasanka National Park. where they gave me an award for Best Upcoming Designer, and Zambia Fashion Week when I was starting in 2016. I just tried. I said, let me try. That was my first time. I also got an award as Best Upcoming Designer. And then there's this program called the Merck Foundation. It's a foundation for infertility stigma. They had a segment for expressing infertility stigma through fashion. So I was one of the lucky designers who was picked for that, and that was in 2021. Yeah, so those are some of the few
So guys, you
awards I
can
have.
see that we are dealing with one of the fashion designers that has got numerous awards that she has won on her side, even on the young age. So guys, I want you to do me a big favor. Let's try by all means to support and promote people like Cecilia, because you can see that all her life is wrapped up into designing from a childhood. She says the saying charity begins at home, but she started doing the designing from her mom, meaning on the very young age, she was already practicing on the machine. And there she is. You can just hear for yourself on the awards that she has won so far. So, Cecilia, how do you handle the criticism? You see, industry, there are people, not everyone who says, Cecilia, some people who talk something negative. How do you handle some criticism?
Um, I feel like criticism is important in every aspect. Um, it's good for growth. Somehow you're able to note your own weaknesses, but not all criticism is good. Some is just there to throw you off. So you need to learn how to block some of the noise, which is something that I've learned. But I'm also open to new ideas and new concepts when corrected, or when I'm also able to see to say, no, I need to improve on this. I'm able to embrace that. So you just have to have an open mind.
You just have to have an open mind. So
Yes.
what's your creativity process like when designing a new collection?
Usually when designing a collection, that's mostly like for fashion shows. There's usually a theme. So yeah, you have to kind of like suit the theme and the season as well.
Mm,
So it depends on the theme and the season, and maybe what colors you're feeling. Your mood also sometimes determines what you create. Yeah.
that's very interesting.
It's mainly emotion. Being an artist is more emotion based than anything else.
Mm. So guys, I will
Yeah.
encourage you guys to find time and just visit her Facebook page. You're going to see how creative this woman is. I mean, she does pretty much everything from bridals to motivators, name it. This woman does it all. So I will surely encourage you guys just to find time and just her work for yourself. So, Cecilia, I wanted to find out, how do you balance your creativity with commercial viability?
I still haven't yet, I wouldn't say like I have fully mastered that art. I feel like that's the part where I needed to go to school.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was more of a creative than a business person. So, yeah, I'm just learning to incorporate that.
You're just learning to incorporate that.
Yes.
So, guys, you heard that she was much on the learning part of it, but now she has to incorporate with the business. I'm sure one of the people that will be listening, you can get hold of Cecilia. Just try to punch it up so that you see it's important to push each other up. So now I wanted to find out, Cecilia. I know you are in this industry where it's so much challenging. What is challenging aspect on the fashion industry for you?
Here in Zambia, because it's pretty much a it's it's pretty much a third world country, so the sourcing of fabric, it's usually we all source our fabric from one place and it's limited. You find there are times when clients want specific things, but you can't get a hold of those things if they don't have them at the fabric store because we don't produce our own fabric. So even that is a limiting factor. It's like the biggest limitation
The-
in Zambia.
in Zambia. So now, has the road shedding also impact your business?
That it has in a great way, but as as a business, you have to find a way to stay afloat. So um, I do have a manual machine which does not require electricity, but then if I do not have power, like in the evening, it's a bit difficult for me to work around using the torch lights, flashlights. It's different from when maybe you have natural light in and you just need power because there are certain points where you have to iron as you
Mm,
are working. So it's a little bit difficult. It's challenging, but I just have to adjust. I adjust my sleeping schedules and everything necessary to
mm,
stay afloat. Yes.
okay. So how do you navigate the competitive landscape of the fashion world? I know there are so many designers that are coming up in Zambia. How do you navigate that landscape?
Um, I think the most important thing is to stay true to yourself and be open to change. Like, um, there's a quote I saw. I can't really recite it in that way about how no, it was Nokia. They said something to say, um, we had, they were saying we had the upper hand in the market, but we failed to change. And no wonder like people took over before anything because we didn't want to change. So I feel like it's important to embrace change
Mhm.
as it comes for you to stay afloat.
It's very, very important. Sometimes
Yes,
it tend to hang on to what we have and not ready to embrace new things. So it's very important to have
yes,
open-minded to every single business. So Cecilia,
yes.
I know you are still on the young age. What message do you have for the young ones that wants to go into that industry? What message for the young ones that they have they're thinking of getting the route that that you're in now?
I think you just have to go for it and believe in yourself to a point where you don't ever feel like nothing will ever not work out for you. That's how much I believe in myself. So I always feel like everything works out in my favor and for my own good. And I put in all my efforts in all the work that I do. Yeah.
So can you share any exciting projects or collaboration in the works? Is there any project that you kind of like so excited when you accomplish that?
Um, well, technically, everything that I make is always exciting because they are all different. So when I'm done, like I wouldn't say there's one specific thing, but I feel like my job has constantly keeps me on a high in the sense that today I'll be making a wedding dress, tomorrow I'll be putting beads on a dress, the other day I'll be doing something else. So it's also great for me to see like different reactions from the owners of those items every time I do different things. So yeah, every day is an adventure on its own with everything that I create.
Wow.
I would say.
So how do you measure success? And what are your long-term goals?
Um, Personally, I don't really think, well, others would beg to differ, but I don't really think there's a scale to success. But if you're doing what you love and it brings you peace, it's able to sustain you, then I feel like that's success enough on its own. As long as it's sustainable, it makes you happy, you are emotionally stable, financially, physically, then you're good to go. I do have a few, but I feel like my biggest or my long-term goal is to see this work. Like I want to see myself work to the my I want to see my ultimate potential, like what I'm capable of, like how far I can actually take this,
Mm.
maybe make it in vogue one day,
Mm.
go to Paris, do the New York Fashion Weeks, all of those things. I feel that would be my I made it moment.
Cecilia, we can't wait to see you on the bigger stage. We can't
Yeah.
wait to see you on the global stage. I mean, I have seen a lot of people from Nigeria. I've also seen a lot of people from Kenya, but you are one of our upcoming Zambian stars that we can't wait to see on this bigger stage. So, Cecilia,
Thank
I just wanted to say thank you so very much for finding time to talk to me. Do you have any message before we wrapped up this interview? Do you have any message for young ones that are planning to pursue that industry, or anyone who is on the crossroads to say, well, I think this is not for me? Because previously, when people used to do dining on a small scale, it was just a little bit, but now you are exposed. You have even got a master's into
you.
this industry. I'm sure you are on the better position to advise someone else who is still on the crossroads.
Um, I feel like you just have to keep going. Like there's no path that is set out straight, and you experience hurdles, you experience emotional breakdowns, and all of that is part of the process into making you greater. That's what I believe. So embrace every moment, the good, the bad, and just keep going.
So,
Yeah.
Cecilia, I know this is not an easy journey. There are times when you
Mm.
feel like, my goodness, I don't think I can do this anymore. You feel like giving up. Where do you find your inspiration to continue doing what you're doing?
There's actually a life for myself that I have visualized that I do not see not to have. So always at the back of my mind, I have one saying, say the show must go on. Like uh, mental breakdowns are normal. I do experience some here and there, but I'll allow it. I'll feel it, and I need to get up and go. And I'll tell myself the show must go on because I've got things to finish doing this side.
The show must be going
Yeah.
on. So, Cecilia,
Yeah, the show must go on.
I like that part. No matter what, but the show must be going
The
on.
show, yeah, the show must continue.
Ah, so Cecilia, you tackled one area that I didn't just wanted to let it go before we wrapped up. You talked about that some of the challenges. You talked about the financial part of it, or how to source the raw materials for your brand. So, are you looking
Mhm.
at either partnering up with the people that are in diaspora to support your business, or are you looking at another avenues on how you can source the materials? Because you mentioned that the only problem you have, it's only that you find where you buy your materials, it's one location. Are you looking at getting maybe materials either in Kenya or Congo or any of these other places that you can find the materials? And what are the costs that is involved?
Um, I I'm not quite. I haven't really done my math on the cost, but I know importing is a bit of a hurdle considering we're in a landlocked country here. So yeah, and we have no textile industry like that produces. So I'll have to work my way around that math, considering if I would still want to continue to build the brand here on how best I would source my own fabric. I still have to do like further research.
Have you ever
Yeah.
thought of putting your product on Amazon?
I haven't yet gotten there, but it's in a few of my long-term goals.
Yes, because
When I maximize on productivity, because yeah, technically I do most of the work. I do have like a tailor that I subcontract, but I feel like when I get to master the art of mass production, then that's when I would take that step.
I think it's important to look at those areas where we have to take it up. I like where you are now. I've visited your website. I like the product. And some of your products that I've seen, they are good on the international market. That's a reason why I mentioned that. Have you ever looked at trying to put the little that you have started in to put it up on Amazon?
Yeah, I will consider it when I figure out mass production, because one of the things that I've learned, most of these fashion shows, you find like the big shows like maybe Paris, New York, you have those fashion houses like Fashion Nova, um, which is the other one? Zara, and there are certain designs that they see that certain designers make, and of course they are patented, but then you do collaborations and then they go and do the mass production and you get a certain percentage for everything that is produced. Like you don't have to even go and manufacture those things on your own, but you have a share from a design that you created. So yeah, I would want to take that route.
Wow. So, brothers and sisters, the goal here is to promote our own business, and we can't wait to see Euro designing, to see her brand in our shops here in the US, like Walmart or Amazon, all these other shops. We can't wait to have our own Zambian. We have seen items coming from Nigeria. Our Nigerian friends have done very well on this industry. So it's very important, brothers, also to support our own. I'm sure this is the aim, to making sure that we leave a foot in one of the shops here in the US, and Euro Design is one of our youngsters that are coming in, guys. So Euro, I will let you wrap up all this. Do you have any last message as we conclude?
But to whoever is out there, you want to be a designer, you want to achieve anything, I think nothing is impossible under the sun, as long as it exists and it's in your head. There's a reason why God or whatever else forces you believe in put it there in your head. So go for it.
Cecilia, thank you so much for finding time. I know it's late in Zambia, but I appreciate for staying up just to talk to me. And guys, please, let's support Cecilia. Cecilia, are there any numbers that you would love to give out for my viewers in case they want to come up with an outfit from your brand?
Okay. Usually I'm quite responsive on Instagram. So even when you text me on Instagram, because I have clients who make orders via Instagram and Facebook, and in Zambia mostly we use WhatsApp. So, but either way, Instagram, Facebook, like all my details are there. The contacts, email, yeah, they are all listed on the bio.
So guys, I will leave all this information on the description box as we are winding up. Cecilia, thank you so much. We'll be looking forward to see you next time. And this is just the beginning of us talking, because the goal is to try to support almost everyone. It doesn't matter which continent they're in. Uncle Lenny will show up. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye-bye.